Hi, second graders. Miss Diorio here from Citizenship Academy, and we're moving on to Module 6, Lesson 14 today. So for today's lesson, we're going to be moving around different squares to make our own arrays and working with repeated addition. So we'll get to that in a second. But first, let's do some practice with some money. So what I want to know is how many dimes are shown on the screen right now? 6 dimes, right? What's the value of those 6 dimes? Think about how much a dime is worth. So I'll give you a hint. A dime is worth 10 cents. So if we have 6 dimes, how much money do we have? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, right? 60 cents. Now if I add 5 more cents, how much money is that? 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Good. So we have 65 cents, okay? There it is. What's 10 cents less? If I take a dime off, what is 10 cents less than 65 cents? It's going to be 55 cents, right? Can you tell me that number sentence? We're starting at 65 and we're taking a dime away. We're taking 10 cents away. What would that number sentence be? Good. 65 minus 10 equals 55. Awesome job. How much money do we have now? Good, 70 cents. Now I'm going to take away 3 dimes. 1, 2, 3. Tell me that number sentence using the money, using the cents. So we started with 70 cents. We took away 3 dimes. Think about how much that is, and then tell me that number sentence. Good. It's going to be 70 minus 30. So we started with 70. We took away 10, 20, 30, and we ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4 dimes or 40 cents. Now add 3 pennies. How much cents do we have? Remember, pennies 1 cent, so 40, 41, 42, 43. 43 cents. Okay, we're at 43 cents. The number sentence is going to be what? Tell me your dimes plus our pennies. Good. 40 plus 3 is 43 cents. Now add my 4 dimes. Okay. 4 dimes. How much money do we have now? Count them on the screen. So we had 43 cents. We're adding 4 more dimes. So I'm going to add 43, and then I'm going to add my 10 cents. 43, 53, 63, 73, 83. What would that number sentence be? We're starting with 43. We're adding 4 dimes. So we're starting with 43 plus 10, 20, 30, 40 cents gives us 83 cents. Good job. Okay, so for this lesson, as I said before, we're going to be working with our own little squares, making our own arrays. So you're going to need some paper and some scissors. What you're going to want to do is make 3 rectangles on a piece of paper to look like this. So this is what mine looks like. I have 3 rectangles on my paper. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting out these rectangles to make our own array. So you want to make them kind of big-ish so that you can cut out individual squares if you need to. So your first step, though, is to draw 3 separate rectangles that look like this, and then also grab some scissors because we're going to be cutting. So pause the video, go ahead and do that, and then come back when you are ready to cut. Okay, if you don't have them, that's okay. I'll do it on here too. So we are going to follow the directions and cut them out. So we're going to cut out rectangles A, B, and C. So I'm going to pause my video, and I want you to cut out all rectangles cut out, right? Pause your video, take your time cutting them out, come back when you're ready. So we have all 3 rectangles cut out. Our first job is to cut out each row of rectangle A. So if we're looking at a rectangle, our rows, remember, go across. So I'm going to cut out my rows on rectangle A. And I want you to do the same. Okay? So it's going to look like this. Good. How many rows does rectangle A have? Just 2, right? Awesome. Now, how many squares are in each row? Good. 4 squares in each row. So, how many rows are there? 2 rows of how many squares? Good. 4 squares is how many altogether? Good. 8. So we have 8 total squares. Awesome. Let's put that one aside. Now we're going to take rectangle B. On rectangle B, you're going to cut out each column. So go ahead and do that now. I'm going to do the same. Cut out each column. Remember, your columns are up and down. Vertical columns. Cut out each column on rectangle B. Remember, pause if you need more time to cut. Okay, how many columns does rectangle B have? I don't have enough hands. We have 4 columns. Good. Each column has how many squares? I'll show you one. Just 2. Good. So now, let's put this all together. How many columns? Make a little fan. We have 4 columns of how many squares? 2 squares equals how many squares all together? My columns are falling. Good. We're going to have 8 squares all together. So rectangle B has how many squares? 8. Awesome. Okay. So now, what you're going to do is you're going to take 1 square from rectangle B. So cut out 1 square. And then you're going to take 1 square from rectangle A. Doesn't matter which square. And you're going to make a new rectangle using 16 squares. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to take rectangle C. You're going to take your other squares and you're going to make a new rectangle. You're going to do this completely on your own. It's going to depend on kind of your creativity, how you want to construct them. So you're going to make a brand new rectangle. Okay? When you're done making your brand new rectangle, take a picture, send it to your teacher, and then you're going to come into your exit ticket. Your exit ticket is walking you through the steps we just did. So you're going to break rectangle A into rows. Tell me how many rows, how many squares, tell me the number sentence. Same thing with rectangle B. You're going to break it into columns. Tell me how many columns, how many squares, and the number sentence. Okay? Easy peasy. Good job today.